Today I'm going to show you a few techniques I use to see how well a website reacts in Google search. These are things that anybody can do, and I look for these few things when I'm first looking at a site to see how healthy a domain and a brand is in Google search. So if you're wanting to improve your organic search results, this video will help you out. Hi there, my name is Bruce. I've been doing SEO since 2015. I love this stuff. I've helped everything from small businesses to big businesses, e-com, affiliate, all different types of businesses get more traffic, more sales by showing up at the top of Google search results. And so today I'm going to show you one of the main things I look at when I first start working on a domain or a website. Okay, so the first thing we do is we go to Google and we do the site search. So for this video, I'm going to be using my SEO agency website, determinesolutions.com. I'm going to be using this as an example. Okay, so the first thing I do is I want to see that it is indexed in Google. So I do the site ... I think those are colons or something, I'm not sure. Determine solutions, and I do this without the HTTPS. I don't want any of that. I just want to see what Google has indexed. Now, technically, Google says that this search won't show you every page that is indexed from your website, but it's just a really good starting point, right? And so the first thing I want to see is the home page, right? And ideally, the home page should have exactly the same title as your page title, right? So this is my home page. This is my page title, Determine Solutions SEO. I just updated this yesterday. Before it did say Professional SEO Services, Determine Solutions, I think SEO Company. And I got rid of all that and just put Determine Solutions. So it hasn't updated in Google yet. I don't really use my agency site much these days. I basically just use it as like a form fill. There's a contact form on there. So this is a low priority site for me. But anyway, I'm just showing you as an example how this is supposed to work. The first thing you want to see is the homepage when you do this search. If you do see that, that's good, it's healthy. And if you don't see that, then first go make sure that your homepage is set to indexed follow. Make sure it's not set to no index or something like that. But that'll show you, hey, something's wrong, and then you can start digging. The next thing I do is I remove the site, and I just do the domain.com or .org, .net, whatever. And again, the first thing that you want to see is the domain with the homepage title. And as of yesterday, this was the correct homepage title. So again, it will update to just Determine Solutions SEO the next time Google comes and crawls the site. You can see this page hasn't been updated since 2021. The only update I did was yesterday. I changed the page title. So I don't work on the site. But anyway, so when I do this, it's showing me these are site links. So that's great. That means it's healthy. You don't need these, but in the past I've done a bunch of SEO on the site, so it's stuff like that's going to show up. But that is good, right? That's not bad. You don't have to have that, but if you see that, good. If you don't, it's not necessarily bad, but again, you do want to see your homepage right here. Next up, we remove the dot. And so we leave the domain by itself and then a space and then the TLD. And TLD means top level domain. So that could be com, org, net. Those are the main ones. And now they got so many crazy ones. And then there's the web 3.0 ones, which we won't talk about now. But anyway, so I remove the dot, but I still have the com. So it's the exact domain missing one, I guess you would call it character. It's missing the dot, right? And the first thing I'm seeing is my domain. That's great. Now, weaker domains, you might see something else here. It gets especially harder if you have like a keyword in the domain, because then you're running into like keyword competition and stuff. In my case, like Determined Solutions is fairly unique, so that's not really something I have to worry about. But so this, again, this is what you want to see. If you see this, you know, like when I first start working with a domain on a project and I see this, I'm like, okay, another green light. Like, this is good. Because these little things, they just, for whatever reason, like I haven't seen any writing or on this or anything. This is just something I've learned from looking at thousands of websites and domains. When I see this, I know it's going to be easier to get the site to rank for stuff. It just is, right? It's just healthier, because when you do this and then like you don't see the domain on the first page, that's like, oh man, okay, you know, Google's just not feeling as comfortable with that domain, for lack of a better way of saying it. Next thing I do is I remove this, and this is like basically just a branded search. So a lot of times Google will be like, hey, you mean this? And in this case, no, I just want this. It won't, sometimes Google will give you one of these and you can't change it. But anyway, sometimes you can't. So hopefully, like, again, hopefully the first thing you see is your domain, right? Again, so the first thing I'm seeing is my domain, is the homepage, some site links, my about page. That's all great. So then, yeah, okay, now this is what's called a branded search. So yeah, let's check it out. Let's see what is there. And the first thing we see is my homepage, and that's exactly what you want to see. Branded search is one of the most common searches people do on Google, and I'm sure that will continue for the AIs as well. You know, someone's like, hey, I got these awesome shoes. It's by this little company, my favorite, called Acme Shoe Company or something. So someone's going to go to a search engine and type in Acme Shoe Company, right? So it's a very important search for your brand, right? You want to be the first thing that shows up for your brand. And if you're not, you need to work on it, and I'll show you some things to work on. In this case, this is like some extra, a little outside of what we're talking about. But in this case, you want to completely cover the first page for your search results, right? So like everything here, here's a Flickr, here's a MapQuest, here's my personal LinkedIn. If you do want to connect with me on LinkedIn, there you go, right there. So these all go back to my website, right? Here's the YouTube. So that's what you want. Like, so if I wanted to rank stuff in the SEO world, it would be, I mean, that's a good starting point, right? Now it's super competitive in SEO and I would have to do more, but that's a good starting point, right? When I see this in a domain, I'm like, okay, this is a good domain. I'd either want to purchase this domain, or if this is a client's domain, I'm like, all right, we're starting out on a good foot, right? That's what you want to see. Now, if you don't see stuff like that and you want to improve it, one, I'd recommend make sure everything technically on your website is okay, right? Like your navigation, your page titles, make sure everything is set to index follow, stuff like that, right? All the basics need to be done. But then if you're building links to the website, which I've built in the past, I built a bunch of links, but you want to do branded anchors, because even with this LLM stuff, Google's been heavy on brands for like years now. But with this LLM stuff, the AIs, they're huge on brands as well. And it just makes sense, right? And humans are big on brands too. So I'd recommend beefing up your the anchor text to your website and beefing it up in branded anchor text, right? So here are some examples. I didn't pull these from my site. They're all pretty similar, though. So you would just substitute Determined Solutions with your brand, right? So in this case, if it's a 2-word thing, put it all together as 1 word, no spaces. If it's 2 words, do that. Another one in my case, which would be fine, would be to go like that and then add SEO. That would be branded anchor with the keyword, but like I've got that so much on the site, you're not really pushing it. Another one would be to do anchor text like this, even though the site is not on www, let me show you, right? Not on www. You could still have that as your anchor text, but then do the proper link, right? Then you would want to do it without the www, right? So this is all branded. So like when you're making links like this, the algorithm can tell you're not trying to game anything, right? Like I'm not trying to say like the best SEO consultant you can hire, right? Like that would be some pretty crazy anchor text. I mean, you can do stuff like that at a certain point, but like that's not, like, you got to be real careful with stuff like that, and that's like for a different video. But when you see stuff like this, it's all branded. It's like you're not trying to game the system. You're just, links are being built to your website. It looks natural, right? And it beefs up all these searches that I just showed you. Another one you can do is like the domain with the HTTPS. You see these, you're like, oh, these are the same. No, they're not. They're different. This one has a slash. This one does not. This is branded anchor text. And then you can work in some generic anchor text like website here, click here, because that's what real brands do. That's what real websites do. And that's just like, you want to see that. And then after you get this nice and good, then you can go and build keyword rich anchor text, but you want to sprinkle it in. And like branded anchors are almost never going to hurt you and likely going to help you. So I hope you found this video helpful. Go ahead and just go to Google and do some of these searches and see what you see. Do you show up the way that I was showing in this video? All right, if you did find this video helpful, man, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. That would be super cool. Or even better, a comment. Hey, if you thought this video was terrible, please give me a thumbs down. Interaction helps me. So good, bad, or ugly, let me know. Yeah, if you have a comment, let me know, and I will answer you. And I will see you in the next video.